Welcome back. The release of the Presidency's 2012 Development Indicators report revealed a worrying shortage of skills, particularly in the engineering sector. Now, women have traditionally tended to be in support roles only, such as administration and marketing. In the last decade, however, has seen a significant organizational shift as perceptions about gender-specific roles in engineering become increasingly irrelevant. Now, to talk more on this issue, we're joined by Liesel Kirsten from the Engineering Council of South Africa. Liesel, welcome to Morning Live. It's good to have you on the program.
Morning, Leah, and thanks.
Now, I suppose a nice question to start off with is, has society's view of an image of a woman being in male-dominated careers like engineering been shifted a bit, or is it still there?
I think it has shifted a lot. I think there are fantastic women that make it happen, and nothing speaks better than actions of the real women doing it. So, yes, the more they get opportunities, I think the more that will shift as well.
It's true, and I suppose the more they see other women moving into those roles, and then you realize, hang on a second, if you can do it, I can do it.
Exactly.
And that's just the way that it's moving. Let's take engineering, for instance. Have we seen more women taking to engineering? Because in the past, I mean, I just remember that was completely male-dominated.
Yes.
What about now?
There are more and more studying engineering, but still, if you look at graduation numbers, it's still about only 25% of the total number of engineering graduates. So we still have to work on it, but I think it's about changing the conversation. It's about talking differently about engineering. Women, other things pull women, like they want to make a difference in people's lives. And I think up to now we've been too specific talking about infrastructure, this, that. If we start talking differently about engineering and how it affects the lives of people and the economy, I think girls especially will have a different view of what it's about and how they can make it happen. So a major issue is changing the conversation. I don't think it's the male dominance at that side. I think boys have perhaps just followed their fathers kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's what they like. I think the more we talk about it, the more they understand what their role is in the workplace, the more they'll be inspired to join.
Why did you want to do it? What inspired you to become an engineer?
I'm not an engineer.
You're not an engineer. Okay, so you're from the Engineering Council, but
yes.
You're not an engineer.
Yes, we have different roles. I studied physical sciences and chemistry.
Okay.
I joined EXA in 1998 to transform the education system, the qualifications, the outcomes-based format in which it should be for universities of technology, and at the point of registration.
Yeah.
So I'm more in the systems development and legislation and making the education and training system work for all engineering, either graduates or candidates.
Yeah, but having said that, obviously you deal on a daily basis with women
Yes.
that are in engineering. What are some of the fallacies that actually exist where it's, this is really just for men and not really for women? I mean, it isn't like that, but just tell us why.
Okay. I think it's not the wrong question, but even if you talk to male students studying engineering, and I ask them, why are you studying it? Do you understand what you studied? And they say no. There's a very weak understanding of the engineering profession. So most of those engineering students followed a role model.
Yeah.
And that's where our key lies, is if we can change the scope of role models and get women engineers to speak to girl learners and have a clear, consistent message to show them how they can make it happen, I think that will bring the difference. So even the male students studying engineering didn't know what it was about. It was following a dream of what they thought they would be doing.
Yeah.
Engineering, and that is a benefit of engineering, is such a wide profession. Competencies can be applied in any area because it's about problem solving. That's why banking industries love it. Internationally we align. It's such a broad industry, and that is what makes it difficult to talk about engineering. And that's why we also developed a program called the Engenius campaign. And Engenius is specifically a campaign where we train role models to speak in a simple way about engineering so that we can get the learners inspired by these fantastic young women that are doing it and that are making it happen. So I think it's about the conversation. I don't think it's bad-mouthing the industry necessarily. I think if you have to work a lifetime in that industry, it's something you must have passion about and a dream about. And if you don't have that dream, you won't study it. So that is where the key lies, is getting role models to speak to the girls especially.
Yeah. To tell them what it's all about.
Yeah.
So I see that this is obviously one of the things that the Engineering Council of South Africa does to try and encourage
Yes.
young South African females to move into
Yes.
this arena. What else do you do?
Look, if we have to make a difference, we have to make a difference in the whole pipeline. So we have to attract learners, girl learners, many black learners that also didn't have the role models in the past, and that's through the Engenius campaign. We train role models, we have kits, we've got a website, engenius.org.za. Then we have to look at the higher education higher education. Why are the throughput rates low? Why aren't they succeeding? So we have to look at the students. Why? How can we support them? And then candidate phase, that is when you have graduated but you still haven't registered professionally. A structured workplace learning. We're trying to get CETA funding for that so that we make sure that instead of taking 10 years to register, women can register in 3 years and take responsibility and accountability and move into management positions. And then we also have to look after our professionals. I mean, if they leave, what was the point of them going through the system? And that's why we also, the two things I'd like to highlight is EXA has now launched the National Engineering Skills Survey to see who is in the profession. We know graduates, but we don't know how many leave and who are still working in the profession. So I'd love to ask women especially to go to ENG survey, engsurvey.co.za and make themselves heard so that we can tell government this is actually the skills supply we have. We keep on talking about the skills demand, but this is actually the skills supply, and we need women to be heard. And then we also support conferences like the one, the ITC conference at the end of November. It's the 4th annual conference. High power women in engineering attend. Internationally from NASA, Society of Women Engineers are going to be there. And then there's CEOs and directors from South Africa, SKA, Rubicon, National Air Force. So it's a very high-powered level where we celebrate women achievements.
Fantastic.
And also address issues that that women specifically have.
That's brilliant. Well, I hope that we get some of the ladies to go and visit that website. Just tell me that survey again.
Okay, it's the survey where we need the industry to be heard, especially women, is ENG, www.engineeringsurvey.co.za.
Excellent.
And the conference is Women of Intelligence.co.za or Intelligence Transfer C.co.za.
Excellent. End of November, that's happening. So engineering, that's what we've been talking about here, particularly when it comes to the women of South Africa. Are you a female engineer? How do you find it? Are you perhaps a student? Because we know that matrics are going into their examinations. Today it's the big day. Is that perhaps on the horizon that you are wanting to do, going to varsity and studying engineering? Well, Liesel Kirsten, hopefully inspiring you. Thank you for being with us and for giving away those misconceptions as well, that engineering is not for women. Liesel is a project manager of the Engineering Council of South Africa. Thank you.